innocent light, God's creation. As this day closes, you can ask within, have I recognized the innocence of light that is my true self? Did I begin the day today surrendering this day to be used only for love? Did I put myself into trust of God's will and want to be led, want to be shown the way, so that the day could be a day of peace and trust and harmony? These are questions that the ego does not want to hear, but are essential in the everyday life to recognize your true purpose and to recognize also and accept what kind of day it is that you can have, how time can be used to not only serve your remembering, but to have a day that is filled with the recognition of grace and the acceptance of the blessings of love. The blessings of love, the grace of God's love itself, is constantly wanting to be given to you, to be shared with you, to have you willing to receive the blessings and grace. But too often, out of habit, out of the belief that you already know how the day should be in your own mind, in your own life of habits, the surrender is easily forgotten. And yet the spiritual journey becomes lightened and so much in ease if the day can be remembered to be surrendered, so that your awareness and your heart are in alignment with your true purpose. The true purpose of the day is learning to love, learning to be love, learning to offer love, learning that in the world of love, all the beliefs of good and bad disappear. All of the beliefs of, I liked this and I didn't like this, and this was to my liking, but this wasn't. All of that, comparisons and opinions, are the place of pain. The pain of the past hitches a ride on the habits that are used in the everyday. There are so many exquisite teachings that call all beloveds to stepping out of the prison of habits, the habits of the mind that believe that through habits themselves is where your safety is. But truly, it's in letting go of the habits and letting the will of love itself lead that the belief of defense can finally be let go. In this moment, the grace of God is pouring. And who is available to be the recipient of that grace, to accept that love is the light that will enter your heart in a nanosecond of your invitation. And the love that enters your heart is just a primer. It primes the pump of your eternal love that is within you, the love that you truly are, one in the heart of God. In that truth of love, there is nothing to have to strategize for the everyday life, but the willingness to just let love lead you, to let love show you the way, a new life, a life without distress, a life without conflict, a life without scarcity, a life that is eternal and where there is no death. That the body will fall away is the only thing that is possibly true about the body. But your eternal life has no ending. And it is perfect and holy and lives in holy union. Happiness, joy, peace are your natural state of your being, and it is truly what you are. And the everyday life is the opportunity to deepen the journey day by day by surrendering the day and giving yourself to the guidance of love's leadership. In the world, the fear of not being the one that's in control tells you over and over again that you need to make up your own mind. You need to be in charge. You need to win. But none of that actually opens the door to peace or joy or harmony. And it's a game that has been played since the beginning of the belief of separation, and it has never brought peace to anyone. But every master that has walked the earth has related the same teachings: to let love guide you, to step back and follow the way of love through your willingness to hear the voice of love, to hear that exquisite guidance that is always loving and always will serve you exponentially. There is no relationship on earth without the blessing of truth that has any real value. Love is calling you to surrender all relationships, to be used and seen through the truth of love itself, to be able to see every beloved as innocent and pure, to see every beloved as the light of God. This is the journey on this earth plane, to use time for its only valuable purpose, which is to use it for remembering. To wake up every morning with joy in your heart that this is another day of learning the truth of love, another day of the opportunity to learn to offer love, to extend love, and another day free of judgments, free of opinions, free of self-criticism. Only love, one with all the divinity of the universe. In this moment, as is the first moment of the day, it's also a moment of surrendering the body to be used to demonstrate love, to breathe in every moment with a conscious breath that surrenders the body itself, surrendering the entire system of the body, all the muscles, all the tendons, the nervous system, the mind, your hands and feet to be used to demonstrate love, and surrendering the senses to be washed clean of all judgment or opinions or expectations, and to want to see and hear and smell and touch only with the light of God. To want to see and hear and smell and touch with blessings devoid of all judgment, and to embrace the not knowing deeply, so that through that doorway of not knowing, you can see with the inner vision of the Divine Spirit and see the purity and beauty of all creation that surrounds you. Love is here, and love is all that there is. Divine healing is available for every beloved, and the journey of love is a blessed, blessed walk of remembering. Affirming in this moment that here in the infinite circle of love we are one, one infinite light of God, one divine spirit. This universe is all love. Nothing else exists. But love is without any judgment, without any opinions, without any comparisons, without any resistance to love itself. All fear disappears, and hatred never was. This universe is all love, and so this sanctuary is filled with love because nothing else exists. And in this universal love, there is only one presence. It is the life force of God. And that life force exists within every element of every creation. The life force of God that lives within all animals, all of humanity, all the elements of creation itself. Only love. Accepting this love. Accepting the will of God to remember. As the heart says yes, the power of God can enter. The power of your yes is your transformational acceptance. And in that power of yes, you are not weak, but strong. You are not helpless, but all-powerful. So is the power of love, able to transform all creation. Within the teachings of love, every beloved must recognize how over lifetimes each beloved has made a world of pain and suffering that's come from the mind of the belief that you are separate from love itself. But all of this pain and suffering that's been believed in so deeply is being called to be surrendered, to be placed in the bonfire of love, to be burned up and realize that it was an illusion that never was. The willingness to no longer self-attack and cause suffering within. Allow this prayer to bring you strength to want to surrender all of the belief in suffering. Humanity has suffered and suffered and suffered. And it is never God's will for anyone to suffer in any way. And we have the power to end the suffering and open to the truth of love. Over the mountains of despair, we will rise above. Over the heartache and the pain, upon the wings of love. The healing of our savage heart, gently by the dove, miraculously transforming us upon the wings of love. Terrible mistakes we think we've made, regrets we've undergone. Sometimes the hopelessness makes us forget the sun at dawn. All delight and joyousness, the tender mercies of Jesus, who carries our burdens upon the wings of love. Jesus, who carries our burdens upon the wings of love. All masters are willing to carry the burdens of love away from all beloveds who are ready to let go. All the pain and belief in suffering, when it's seen for what it truly is, it has no power except in the belief that it blocks your joy, it blocks the harmony that you truly are. And the belief of having made terrible mistakes has no truth to it. The forgiveness is really that you have done nothing. You have changed nothing of the truth of God, of truth of love, and that it can all be let go. You can be free from the guilt and shame that everyone has carried, no longer willing to play the old game of painful punishment, letting it all go, and letting it go on the wings of love. And it disappears, and your bad dream is over. This was one of the first teachings that I entered into in the journey of remembering love. I had no relationship to the possibility of healing, having tried all kinds of healing that had always come back to the same place of the belief of pain and suffering. And in this teaching, it came to me that God was truly promising that everything could be healed, that there was nothing that could not be transformed, because illusion just disappears. And all of the beliefs of suffering are part of that illusion. The stars already arrived to say my name. I am, I am, I am. I am the child of God. The stars have taken me to meet the entire world, to discover this truth that only love is real. I climbed mountains of thorns, stepping on sharp points. And in that height, the stars told me that in this world, everything can be healed. The stars told me to listen a lot and speak little, as I learned the way of love and listened to my guides. The guides have arrived, and they bring the divine truth, the truth of medicine that cleanses the soul and eliminates all belief of suffering from the mind. The divine medicine of love that speaks only of the truth of love and the will of God that brings it into manifestation as we say yes. As estrelas já chegaram para dizer o nome seu. Sou eu, sou eu, sou eu, sou eu filho de Deus. As estrelas me levaram para colher o mundo inteiro, para conhecer verdade, para poder ser verdadeiro. As estrelas já chegaram para dizer o nome o seu. Sou eu, sou eu, sou eu, sou eu filho de Deus. As estrelas me disseram, ouve muito, falo pouco, para poder compreender e conversar com meus caboclos. Os caboclos já chegaram, de braços no pé o chão. Eles trazem remédios bons para curar essa cristã. The stars have arrived to say your name. This divine intelligence of the universe has no limitation. It has no limitation of how healing occurs and how it is possible that the power of the universe can heal your mind and your heart. But the trust that the power of God is really running the entire universe is what we enter into when we surrender ourselves and ask for that divine healing. You might think, well, why do you have to ask for divine healing? It isn't because you have to beg for it. It's because there has to be a conscious wanting of the healing itself. Nothing can be forced on anyone. Love does not force itself or rescue anyone without having the yes of the heart that it wants to be healed and return to love. Your free will is essential to accepting the power of God's healing. But in that, it is absolutely true that in this world, everything can be healed. There is nothing that can withstand the truth of love. And that is all that every sacred journey is about. It's about the willingness to continue to take that leap of faith into the truth of love. And the way will always be offered, and the means will always be available to each beloved. There is no one in this world that is not available to heal. It doesn't matter for beloveds who in this world don't know how to read or write or haven't heard the word God. None of that is essential in healing. It's the remembering from deep within that there is another way. And every beloved that comes to the spiritual journey comes to that inner calling that recognizes there has to be another way. This cannot be the truth of life itself, to live in pain and suffering and the belief of death. So every beloved has that spark within them that can be ignited and calling on the power of God to transform everything that's been made up in the everyday life. Maybe one like a water buffalo. Your soul could have chosen a different kind of body, one that was not nearly as fragile. One may be like a water buffalo, more suited to fender benders, lawsuits, and corporate fights. Actually, it tried that. Your soul being other things, but then decided that a form like yours was the best jumping off spot, a springboard, you could say, for your final somersault into the beyond. It's important in the spiritual journey to realize how mysterious the healing journey really is. That you have been a water buffalo is probably true, or some kind of other form, or many, many, many forms. And the stars have talked to you and told you secrets of the universe that you may not remember, but can be remembered. How do you enter into the mysteries of the universe is a question that some beloveds ask and some don't. Some beloveds believe somehow that the mysteries of the universe are off limits. And they are off limits to the ego mind that is curious and wants to have a story to tell about the mysteries of the universe. That's not its purpose. But to enter into the mysteries of the universe can be a place that Spirit of Love can take you and will take you to teach you about your kingdom, to teach you about your home. Your home is the universe. And you don't need a spaceship to travel within that universe. Spirit will take you. But there is a prerequisite to that journey. And the journey is letting go of what you think you know. The reason that you have to let go of what you think you know is because everything that you think you know has been made up within time of this lifetime and tiny glimpses of past lifetimes. But it's all been ego bound. Every thought has been produced by the belief of separation. Some of it is an agreement with the rest of humanity. Some of it is your personal identity that has a past and a story that comes with it. But all of that is being called to be let go, surrendered, because it has no reference point to the truth of love itself. And it has no truth in it that can open you to the mysteries of the universe. Is there something in the ego that would be aware that you may have been a water buffalo in some other life, and what that was for, what that was about? Those are the mysteries that spirit will take you and show you according to what is helpful for you to expand your mind into God consciousness and to open your heart into the oneness of love itself. It isn't important to be able to tout to someone else, yeah, I saw my past lives, I was a water buffalo, for the sake of a show and tell. It's a learning place that the Holy Spirit knows exactly what is most helpful for you to be aware of so that you can heal the beliefs that you carry now, which are all in the knowing. That's why love keeps calling you into not knowing. So the door can